Hello, and welcome to Shooting the Shit, the podcast where we shoot the shit while we shoot some aliens. I am Josh.
I'm Phil. I will be the driver.
And I'm Elmos.
So, what are we doing here?
Oh, well, it's supposed to be dead. So, okay, so I'm just going to be playing Halo for a bit. And
Some topics.
So, let's go to the first topic then.
Which is-
Pokenn.
Thoughts on?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, next topic.
Summed up succinctly, I think.
So, we've recently received Pokenn, and we've been playing the shit out of it over the past, 48 hours?
Yeah, round it up.
So, a bit of a first look review. Very enjoyable.
I think it's a fun new dynamic Pokemon game because before now it's been turn-based. I have to wait for them, and it's made Pokemon seem very
Same.
The universe that they made is amazing. The game that they made is really fun, but it really makes the battle look kind of dull. But then you actually get to Pokémon, and it's like, holy shit, this is what would be happening every time you play this game.
Yeah, a new Pokemon Stadium type thing with graphics like that would be incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they should move away from what they've done so far, because the actual game is so well balanced and so well made. It's just a really enjoyable game, but it is a nice little take on it.
We do have Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is fantastic.
Yes.
I
And
love
we might talk a little bit about
that.
that in a minute. But the Tekken, because I don't know exactly how this worked. Did they use like the same engine as Tekken, or if they kind of like have the Tekken people been involved?
So I know Tekken's made on the Havoc.
It won't be Havoc because the Wii U can't support this.
Fair.
End of story, the Wii U cannot support Havoc.
Give it shit if it does.
I guarantee you.
So if anybody in the
support
comment section disagrees, then
Not the
feel
new
free.
one, maybe one of the older ones. It
Yeah,
cannot
backtrack,
support, it
backtrack.
cannot support the new Havoc. It can't do it.
Backpedal.
If the new Havoc is made for the new consoles, and Wii U does not stand up to that. It's a fantastic console on its own, but it cannot stand up in power to it. So the
No.
new Havoc is made for.
Fantastic is a strong word.
You said that as I was looking at you.
True,
like,
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
pretty. Fantastic is right. Oh.
So the characters really interesting. Machamp is obviously your big, bulky, stand still while I kick your head in kind of character.
Very, very powerful.
Very powerful. It's like a fucking truck, but not crazy inventive.
Kind of, it's like we talked about this. It kind of puts into perspective the fighting game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, let's do a fighting game with Pokemon. What should be in it? Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Hitmontop, Primate, Machamp,
Yeah.
Machoke. Like, go on listing all the fighting types and be like, yeah, they're great. But once you've represented how one of them fights,
I
and then
mean,
you look at the game art that's in Pokemon or Chandelier, it's like, wow,
Holy
that's
shit.
creative.
Yes.
A fighting game that's like, it's different to a fighting game. It's not just two people punching each other. It's what's not. It's Pokemon.
It's definitely an interesting take on the fighting level as well, because it includes so many different special abilities and all the dynamics of typing, which aren't actually counted, but they make them move it different and unique depending on the typing. Like Sweeping has a ice beam attack on B, whereas Machamp can do the elements, the punches, and close combat. So you actually see that as an interesting part. Came back and disappear, and really adds some interesting element to that.
and he's got the teleport punch thing where he like
Yeah.
punches through a portal, which is sick.
And it just adds, because the closest we've come to that so far really is Street Fighter, which still doesn't have as many special cool effects as
No.
this.
I don't know.
Really.
Mortal Kombat does a good, yeah, like new.
Yeah, alright.
Gengar's pretty much new.
There's Marvel vs. Capcom. That had to like mess it up because they had like Modok who doesn't move like a human being, or like super powerful entities like gods like Dormammu who's from Marvel. So there have been fighting games that have done it, but I don't think they've been been given their universe like Pokemon, where fighting is already in set, so there's already like the reason and motivation there. But now they've got these things that can fight in new and interesting ways that are really fun to represent visually.
Yeah, because going back to your point about the fighting Pokemon, like if you put Hitmonchan in the game, all of the buttons are going to punch, basically. Like maybe like you get a dodge in there. It's going to be like Steve in Tekken.
Yeah.
which is fine for a Tekken, but for something that's created with Pokemon, it'd be a bit of a shame if that was the focus, which I'm glad it isn't.
So maybe one or two, like Champ, perfect. But,
Yeah. I think they're being represented by Machamp though.
Yeah. I do like how the orders are split out as well. We've got the technical, the speed, and the standard. Let's see a bit of a couple more of that, with maybe a defensive one.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
like a Regirock.
Yeah. DLC type of.
Yeah, paywall.
Oh, paywall.
Monetization support.
Cost.
But I mean,
in fairness, it wasn't that expensive a game, was it?
It was about 30.
Which
remember.
It was pretty decent.
For a
It's
new
what the
release.
old games were.
Yeah.
New games are usually about 60, so this being 30 is quite good.
So I wouldn't mind that, honestly. If you just want to buy the vanilla game with the vanilla character, you don't spend as much money, but you still get the full game. And then if you want to pay the same amount of money, or getting towards the same amount of money, for the added roster.
Yeah, if they added double the Pokemon or something, I certainly wouldn't mind adding 15, 20 bits to get double the amount.
Yeah.
Especially if they're all unique in this.
Because then it's more accessible for people who don't want to spend that money, but want the game. So if they'd have to spend that anyway in the full release, then it's a good way for them to save a bit of money.
Yeah.
The problem with that is it feels a bit defendy of the whole thing about EA at the moment is they are just DLC everything. Like, here's our new game and the DLC. Why didn't you just release it as this game? Because money.
Oh.
And it's getting really
Oh, yeah,
annoying
don't
that
get me
it's now
wrong.
half of the cost as opposed to one game per developer per year.
The thing is, though, Pokemon feels like a full release game. It doesn't feel like it's got something missing, which a lot of these games that are releasing stuff as DLC do.
Although it does only have the fighting. Like, I mean, I know it's a fighting game.
It's a celebration of characters
Well,
and what does it like characters.
Bear in mind, Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium, you could fight, sure, but all this shit you could do in Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, there is definitely stuff missing, but as an actual whole game, it isn't a bad game.
No, it's the fighting is very well made. It's very cinematic, very easy to access. So if you're looking for like Tekken level kind of combos, juggling bullshit, you're not really going to get that because it is obviously made for kids. But it's quite simple, easy to pick up, quite hard to master, I guess. And you know, it's a Pokemon game for kids, like maybe one.
That is, I think, the biggest part of it. They've had to make it accessible fights. I think is largely targeted at kids. Stuff like Tekken, Mortal Kombat.
This guy's duping you.
Jackals. Am I right? Yeah, so Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, all these fighting games can be targeted at an audience who are going to sit down, learn how to play it, and take it to the next level as it were for an RPG game. Just trying to be a bit, playing it is less of a ball flashy kind of pastime. Whereas kids are just like, yay, Pokemon, Gengar, go!
Yeah, mash
hammer the
buttons.
buttons and wiggle the sticks.
Because you can absolutely hammer the buttons. Like, you can button mash. You can get away with it. Obviously, if you're running at somebody who knows how to play, you probably lose. But ultimately, you can get away with just making up the combos as you go.
I don't think that's necessarily bad.
No, accessible, easy to pick up. Like,
Makes it fun to get into.
where are you going?
It definitely makes a nice change as well for a lot of the fighting games. Like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter especially are quite hard to compete with.
Yeah.
You're against anyone who's had more than 10 hours playing it, and you're coming as a button bash, you're going to get
You get destroyed. Tekken is a bit more accessible like that.
It is, yeah, but Pokemon really takes it to that level where you can access it straight away. You didn't feel like you were being battered by the straight away.
We kicked the shit out of them, yeah.
Well, apart from you had one block.
Yeah.
Just a quick point as well. Halo, my favourite series. That's currently why we're playing this one. So, well, there's a huge aesthetic change that we took in this series. Once 343 took over, obviously we played Halo 4, and that's when they took over. Grunts and Jackals, look at the faces.
Yeah.
They made them look like they're at least a similar alien species. The entire point of the Covenant was different aliens, not necessarily their own will. It feels like the artists were like, no, they need to be similar, and they just made the Jackals' heads huge. Look at that. It used to be so much different to that.
Yeah, that's the dinosaur.
Grunt looks weird.
Yeah, look at that eyeball.
Completely different to how it used to be.
Yeah.
completely changed the aesthetic of that.
Get it right, noobs.
The elite actually aren't that bad. Like, if you go look at an elite,
Until you actually take the armor off, because when you look at the arbiter with his armor off, he kind of looks like a different man as well.
and that's what he is. Like, the Sankheili are just
Yeah.
basically human.
Which is fine if they hadn't made the other two more like that. I think that's kind of the problem with that.
What do you mean? Like, they're not really more like them. Like these two, I think they made a design, and then they kind of put it to each other. What's for that supposed to be doing? Oh, I think it's supposed to spend some. Oh, wait, no, it's supposed to be yeah, it's just something that I noticed then when I was going back through it after doing a few headshots. It's like, oh yeah, the head's in this. Anyway,
Anyway, Pokenn, anything else to add?
There's that phantom signal again.
I loved it as a game.
Oh.
I think it was pretty brilliant.
I heard something. That
I'm kind of biased in this, and that's something that we definitely need to clear up.
Yeah,
All three of us enjoy playing Pokemon games.
some more than others.
I wondered.
For multiple reasons, we enjoy multiple levels, etc., etc. And then some of us, again, more than others, enjoy Tekken. And it's like, what two games could you combine? And then that got released or announced. And like, so
He literally made that sound. I was there.
As was I, will second
There.
One final question then about it. Pokemon we'd like to see.
Onyx or Steelix. I would definitely like to see Onyx or Steelix.
That-
true that.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
It's really, that's checkmate.
The first thing I thought of earlier, I thought it actually a while back.
How would it fight though? Like, would it just like head smash thing?
Suicune.
Requiem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Suicune's got his bullshit little tail
You've
over
got
his
the
jab
entire
with.
tail and body to you, so it can curl on its back while the tail whips around, or it can head smash into stuff. It's got its mouth to crunch and stuff with that attack. It can curl around and stuff.
Would it be jumping in the air though, and like sort of doing stuff like that? That'd be pretty impressive.
So you,
Earthquake,
cool.
it's got rocks. You can have it coil and jump,
Hopefully we can find some way to get this
snake
cartographer
and
back
it's
online.
jump, essentially.
So how big is it? I always got the impression that like Onyx and Steelix were massive. They're not meant to be like.
They've
That
been
big.
shown varying sizes.
Yeah, they come from everything from human size to about 16 times size.
Yeah.
Really, really weird when it comes to that. There's quite a lot of instances.
The
Because
energy is
in
actually
the
a
Pokedex
ferroelectric
Charizard, it's supposed to be the
current.
same height as an average
Your
adult,
shields
but
are
in
just
the anime,
Yeah.
everyone knows
the
now about
chamber's
what's
charge.
size back.
Yeah.
Will the
20 times.
Shut
Okay,
up.
fine.
Alright,
It's 3
Mr.
times
fucking
you can-
Pinickety.
Never exaggerate that.
Usually works in parallel.
But yeah, I do have another point to make though, is the backgrounds are the only disappointing point that
Yeah.
we haven't seen. A little bit more effort into them would have been nice.
Yeah, just the animations are a bit lackluster.
Very
I
lackluster.
mean, it doesn't.
Unnecessary.
They're all shouting like, "No, Dave, he's dead! Don't do it!" He's like, "Nah, I've got my life insurance on there. The kids need
Pay
it."
for my wife and children.
Several of them.
Yeah, the backgrounds are a bit lackluster, but it doesn't detract so much away from the game that we would stop playing it. It's just, it definitely detracted from the gameplay.
It's just a bit more effort you like to see, you know. Like, it doesn't. Obviously, it's more time and money, but the amount of money they're going to be making back from it, like they could definitely just polish it just that bit.
Yeah, I think.
Your shields are just
I don't think
cycling in
it
response
takes
to
from
the
the game, but I
chamber's
think
charge.
the better way to say it was noticeable. Which is
Yeah,
also shit.
yeah.
If something's noticeable in a game, the amount of time you spend in a game, the amount of attention it holds from you, and the amount of people around the world playing said game,
We'll have to
yeah,
locate
it's
its
a Pokemon
twin.
game.
It
There's
doesn't
a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to notice how much of it they're going to notice. It's a shame how noticeable it really is, because it was like the second match where we were like, okay, let's look at the background.
Actually, speaking of very noticeable, very, I'd say immersion breaking or enjoyment affecting aspects of the game, the narrator, not the narrator, what's she called, the fucking commenter. She
She was
is
annoying.
she was the most annoying video game voice actor I've ever heard in my
She's
entire life.
great.
She's awful.
She is my life.
Literally, the first word that came out of her mouth, I was like, no, please no.
The first question, Josh asked, was, can we turn her off?
And
Can we fuck?
in fairness, the answer is yes. We can actually turn her off. So it's it's a bit of a negative. If you don't like it, you can shut the fuck up. Unless you're playing with other people who enjoy your suffering enough to keep it on.
Like
Your
Phil
first
and
mistake, complaining about it.
Yeah, never complain about something when Phil's around.
Yes, he will. Getting out the energy sword for those grunts.
I mean, I'm gonna need it apparently.
Yeah, you're getting attacked. The guy's shot in the back before you kill him.
Yeah, jump.
He's like, no, I'm hiding.
So, any more Pokemon that you can think of that you would like to see in the game?
You know what? I've just thought. Metagross might be a good one.
Oh yeah, that Mega would be good. The bursts are fantastic.
Yeah, the burst are very cinematic.
Very cinematic, and they added really interesting points because if you're in a burst and they're not, it's vast difference in power.
Yeah.
But you can definitely counter them outside the burst.
At least he died with dignity.
Maybe. You're a better man than I, Gengadin.
So, Phil, any Pokemon?
Okay, I had.
Okay, he pulled out his list.
Right. My issue wasn't so much as what I want to see in there, as opposed to what else can they push. The difference with, like we said earlier, the champ represents basically what a fighting Pokemon's going to do. Chandelier and Gengar represents what a ghost or something that's an amorphous body would do. So I was thinking along the lines of either Crawdon, because that could be cool, into slow moving, plus things to affect it or change it, or something completely different.
Starfire would be a good one for that.
Slurple.
I don't know. I'm trying to
Slurple, no. Okay.
of all 700 damn things that are in it. And I'm trying to think of one's a bit different shape. Like Samurott would be a good one. Stars in general.
Samurott, you could link to Suicune.
Yeah,
That can't be right.
I am amazed that
Galvantula
isn't
Calling it now DLC.
Yeah, definitely. Do you like the look of Shadow Mewtwo? That is something that I really enjoy. I'd love to see that as the actual shiny.
I wanted that to go on the DS. I was just disappointed. I was like, oh, sweet, the Nemo card. I wonder if I could download it. Aww.
Yeah, having that on actual Pokemon would be amazing.
What?
Not like a DX Pokemon in an actual Pokemon game. I know it's never going to happen. It's just a different colour palette.
Let's get to that terminus and find infinity.
My second one, I can't see shut up. I would say.
It was supposed to be massive, but the project was only in prototype when we left.
I can't think of that. I was basically thinking along the lines of what Dan said about Steelix. Something like Arbok or
Galvantula.
Galvantula. Yeah, something like that. But it's just not a straight body type. You could easily think about lines. So it makes you stop and go, oh, look that guy.
You mentioned Crobat before as well.
Yeah, Crobat, that was what I was thinking. Something that flies, definitely. Like Braviary or Staraptor or Pidgeot.
Yeah, but Staraptor would be a good one, because that's fan favourite as well.
Yeah.
Pidgeot, fan favourite.
Yeah.
Really surprised that wasn't in it, because they have Pikachu and Charizard.
But there's two Pikachu!
Two Pikachu.
That was one, Venusaur.
Yeah, Venusaur would be a good one. Right, so, gone through the Pokemon we'd like to put in. So, next whatever topic, is Half-Life. Why can't they count to 3, and what games we would like to see?
Yes, the 3. So obviously, as everyone on the internet knows, Valve seems to be able to count to 3. We've got Half-Life 2.
We've got 2 down.
Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Portal 2. Left 4 Dead 2.
Portal
Team Fortress 2. Like.
Counter-Strike has a 2, basically, because it's got CSGO.
CSGO, yes. So, obviously, we would all like to see Half-Life 3. I would like to see Half-Life 3 more than I'd like to see my first child.
I know what that's going to look like. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, Portal 3.
The question is, will you be disappointed?
Probably in my child, yes.
Okay, child, if you're not, the fucking shit.
You've got Half-Life 3 to measure up to. Problem is, though, with all the hype that it's going to get, because it's been so long, is it going to be lackluster?
thing about Valve is they take ages to produce any game safe for Left 4 Dead 2. Portal 2, yeah, it took them about, what, 2 years ish. Yeah, it was like 2007 Portal came out. And I think in 2011. 2011 was Portal 2, I believe.
Yeah, it was when we were still in college, so
and they take ages to produce everything they do. Oh, hello. The Orange Box took them so fucking long, but once they released it with Portal and they released it with Team Fortress 2 completely unannounced, completely out of nowhere. And both of those games are on my top 10 favourite games of all time, easily top 5 maybe.
A sequel, like a game and its sequel in the top 10.
No, Team Fortress 2 and Portal.
Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4.
Halo 2 and fucking hell. Team Fortress 2 and Portal are 2 of my top favourite games.
No, I missed that. I thought you were like Portal 2 and in the top 10. Like, what? That's bullshit.
So,
you can't do that.
Valve take forever to release a game, but they just perfected it basically. They've never released a bad game, Valve.
Okay, so with them having done multiple first-person shooters very, very well, multiplayer shooters and single-player shooters, and they've also done a single player and multiplayer version of Puzzle Game, which is also technically shooting ball.
Yeah.
Is there a genre that you'd like to see them go into? Again, Dave, what are you doing?
Dave, you just got out of the hospital. You can't get much more of this life insurance. We're just going to take it back. My kids are going to college now.
Different genre. I mean, they kind of created a new genre with Portal.
It's definitely a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game. It's definitely like, I know what you're saying about the first-person shooter thing, but it's them kind of like operating within the paradigms of the genre, creating a new genre out of that. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, definitely is.
And I think we've got so many games coming out from that, even to the extent of like the Stanley Parable. I think that was massively influenced by Portal. And in that game you basically just walk around and look at things. But very, very good game. Well, the genres, I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy with what they got. Ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy with what they do.
Yeah, they do definitely put some good stuff out. It's just with Team Fortress being such a good multiplayer first-person shooter, and then having Left 4 Dead 2 as a first-person shooter, Half-Life with the first-person shooter as a story-driven instead. Yeah. Whereas Left 4 Dead 2, I'm sorry, that is mainly just about the shooter.
Yeah, you do get a story, but you've got to kind of delve in for it.
More secondary than in Half-Life, where that is the driving factor.
Although there are certain people that I watch that argue that the story that you have to go look for, or is it called, what's the word? Like, basically, it comes to you if you go and look for it. It's not immersive, but there's a phrase for it. Emergent, there you go. It's emergent gameplay, emergent storytelling. It's like
you get what you're playing, though.
Yeah, like one of the examples I like is in Bioshock. If you go through the levels, you will find little audio clips and things like that. They don't just give you backstory; they tell you like pretty much exactly what's going on. And if you like pay attention to all of them and put the time in to go and find it all, you get a much thick, a really good story as opposed to the brilliant story.
You never have cutscenes and stuff like that. They never sit you down and force you to get a such position.
Exactly, that breaks gameplay so much. Audio file, pick up, play as you go. If you want to listen, you can listen. It's like, oh, that's good.
Dickhead! Whoa!
I mean, were you trying to get rid of the police?
There's a glass house.
Yeah, I mean, there's points in that Half-Life 2 where they basically lock you in the room with an NPC who's talking to you.
Is that the one that I killed that you said couldn't be killed?
No, but that happened. You broke the game, you locked us in a room.
We had to restart.
Guy had to open the door for it and you just killed him.
Go on, put Elmos in a corner.
So, there's points where you basically locked in a room with an NPC and he's talking to you. But honestly, when I first played the game, when I was like 14, I just spent the entire time picking up a cardboard box and throwing it in his face and ignoring everything that came out of his mouth. It's just shit like that. Like, you can't just dick about while the exhibition goes. You've missed the story, which is a shame, but you can't do it.
Yeah, that's exactly why Yahtzee actually says that's a brilliant thing that he did. But you can go and, whilst they're talking to you like, here's the plot, you're just like, oh wow, what else could I put in this thing that breaks all the environment.
Yeah. Gordon
great.
Freeman is who you make him, which is the really good silent protagonist.
Project.
So, no real genre changes, but is there anything they could do that they haven't already done without going into the genre? Or making the shooting game that changes the genre, like Half-Life and the Grab's done for being a puzzle game? Is there anything really left to do?
I'd make a third game.
Well, I think this is why.
Apart from making a third game.
I think this is why it's taking so long. So it's an established internet conspiracy at the moment that Valve are waiting for the new physics
Steam
engine.
box,
Yeah. Well, no, the Steam box is out. The physics engine.
This is an argument I've heard before. Yeah, it's not even like a rumor. It's like people have gone through and dated when they've released all the games.
Yeah, I mean, Half-Life 2 was released after
every big game
Steam.
Valve released to make a big amount
the
of
Source
money.
engine.
And yeah, they released it as something, like, not revolutionary, but big to the gaming industry. Now, Half-Life 1 came out, and they made waves, the gaming world, what it could do, what it was,
Yeah.
type of gameplay.
Compared to like Doom or like Return.
Yeah, and then so it was back in the 90s when Doom came out.
Yeah.
Then number 2 came out, and that was like to improve the graphics, the new engine, the main source of the physics engine was refined.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And
now games can have great physics.
And they definitely make use of the physics engine in that game. The number of physics puzzles you have to go through that get in your way. It's like, yes, seesaw puzzle, great Valve.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was
It's
the point.
seesaw
Yeah.
puzzle.
Yeah.
It's seesaw
Here's it
puzzle
again. Oh, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, guess what we're keeping in the game? Seesaw puzzles! Everybody's favourite!
I played the first game because I didn't know how to do it. I
Yeah.
can figure out how to do it. Oh, but do you need us to show you?
Yeah, no, I've been in a playground before.
I think Valve are guilty of that. Like, hold your hand up a bit. So, like, you must not misunderstand how to play this game. You're playing it wrong. Play it right. Okay,
They-
good. You're playing it right.
They
We'll let
do
you go.
beta test the plot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Definitely not that thing.
Just stuck a sword up your ass.
That bit's armoured, Phil.
So, the new concept thing brings me to my topic, which is obviously the motion sensing bullshit was complete travesty and didn't work except for maybe a year. What do you think about VR? Is it actually going to go?
Yeah, it's
I mean, the Oculus Rift is looking like really impressive. I've never touched it. I've never like laid my hands on one, but from what I've seen on like sort of gaming channels, horror games with the Oculus Rift look intense.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to add because in a game, basically looking for escapism with immersion. So you're just not thinking about now to think about the game. It wants to hold your attention. The number one way to do that is to keep as little movement there.
Yes.
I don't want to stand whacking my fucking wrist around trying to play tennis whilst the Wii goes, that wasn't really a forehand. Yes, it was. I know what I do. Don't tell me how to move my body game. I've been doing it for 20 years. I think I'm alright. So I think when it comes to like VR, it's like instantly you can see more of the game in a more interactive way with less movement or action required of you. So there's more immersion immediately, and then you can still have the control of the movements. So that's all the movement and everything you have there, just button presses and analog movements.
I did see an interesting thing on YouTube of a dude playing Skyrim. I don't know if you guys have seen
Yeah, that
this.
looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be exhausting. They've got to have some form of way where they
So
one step of yours to 10 into
So just to-
otherwise it shatters
just to
the sky.
establish what we're talking about for people who might not know,
Oh,
it's
actually, see this.
guys wearing Oculus Rift with, was it a Wiimote in one hand and then he has a Wiimote in both hands, doesn't he?
Both hands have got remotes in, and he's stood on a infinite conveyor belt that moves by his force.
Yeah.
And he's held in place by a harness.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, as he's taking steps, he's walking in the game. Everything's obviously on the Oculus Rift, and he's controlling each hand with a Wiimote.
Yes.
I would love to see how you set that up, and I would love to give that a go.
I'd love to give it a go, but as I said, it needs to have some form of pacing because having it where you're actually moving in time with the character, even in a game like Call of Duty, you are going to be
Yeah, and how do you do the sprint and stuff like that? Maybe that could be put on the controller.
Yeah.
Having recently gone paintballing, it is such a hassle trying to keep just low so you're out of people's line of sight. Your quads would be huge if you could actually look at this
have a bottom for Crash because it wasn't a way for him to
because he's harnessed it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because doing that is not just taxing for the person, that's going to wreck people's knees. Imagine doing that as often as you need in a game, and then coming out of a 3-hour gaming session like,
You gain a new appreciation for the struggles that the character goes through.
I think that is the main problem that I have with it, is the time that's spent in it. I used to, obviously, in high school, cross country, and I could run for a good hour, but that wasn't at the pace that the people in the game run, and that was literally training you to run that long. The average person, I couldn't run like that now. I can run for about 10 minutes and then I'm shattered. I'm not exactly out of shape. So the exhaustion that it's going to bring is going to be unreal.
It's the same thing that Phil was saying before about
immersion. It's more action just to get something to happen in the game. It's not really fun.
Okay, so let's say we remove the conveyor belt thing. Then your Oculus Rift, motion control in both hands, lift it up to fire at the screen and all that.
Yeah, and just movement sticks.
I still think that's wrong because you're still going to use your arms.
Or maybe even a pedal.
Yeah. There's definitely ways that it can be done in the future that aren't going to work now. I think that's the main point for the motion sensor and the movement. It's not that there isn't a way that can be worked now, but if we continue down that line, we will have something that can possibly work. But for now, VR I think is going to be excellent because a lot of stuff I don't think is going to work perfectly for.
I just think I've used the Wii a lot. It's the motion sensor on it was never really accurate.
It's a prototype, though, isn't it?
That was well, yeah, they
it was
released it a bit early,
yeah,
and then they released this update for it to make it like, hey, now it's even more accurate. I tried that; it didn't feel any different to me, really, to be honest.
It was more accurate. I did the same thing. It was more accurate, but the difference was between I moved my arm up and it doesn't register at all to I moved my arm up and it doesn't jerk it. That was the difference. It wasn't fantastic at all.
Then there's things like the Xbox has the camera that captures your body movements and plays games like the Ninja 3 games. Not nearly accurate enough to try that against a lot, but that technology is way ahead. But it's a fun idea, it's something fun to look forward to, and I absolutely support the development. But anybody that's developing that and then saying, okay, we're going to charge you for this, is all the hardware, the software,
which is essentially getting you to beta test it.
Exactly. It's so much money to get a not affected system. That's just not fair on the consumer. It's not in the interest of the consumer. It's not to get a fun game to play. It's to make one that don't.
I do have to say though, so VR, I'm definitely looking forward to playing something graphic style of Pokémon, but actual Pokémon game on VR. I think that thing would be the best shit in the world.
The VR
motion sensor that I will throw a Pokeball at a sweet tune in half.
To be fair, how many games have done Dragon Ball Z thing? How many of those do you actually try and go and play? Because I know you would do that. You would kill the same person twice to play a Dragon Ball Z game. That's it.
What was the most recent one that came out? It did play better. Like little cousins got it. The Dragon Ball Z was like motion control, where you if you do the Kamehameha, you do the motion and.
Oh yeah, it was after Tenkaichi. Terrible, Budokai crap.
It was awful, like absolutely awful. My little cousin played it because he loved it because he was 5, and I gave it a bit of a go.
That's kind of why I was saying Pokemon, because Pokemon isn't something that needs constant action, whereas Dragon Ball Z is.
So
because that's Kamehameha and then fighting and so on and so forth. But Pokemon is literally you're standing around telling your Pokemon what to do. You've got buttons to go, oh, you're doing this, or even voice recognition, whatever, to say this is what my Pokemon does, and then throw the Pokemon.
So what? I don't understand what that'd be. So you'd be from the perspective of the trainer.
Yeah, you'd be on the perspective of the trainer. Say for this harness set.
Okay.
This is a game that I would actually like to see. Would be a Pokemon.
Let me interrupt. Beyond throwing the Pokeball, what does a trainer do?
Run around!
Select
Run
the
where?
option.
Hey, in the anime, Ash stands there going, Pikachu, do such and such, and that is not motion control, it's not voice control. that's like Google and Siri have that down. To be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, the trainer is definitely the least interesting part of the Pokemon world.
Hey, we go back to Pokemon.
always leads back to Pokemon.
Every version.
And it's a lot of people's childhood.
Yeah, for some people, their childhood doesn't really end.
I'm playing games, leave me alone.
And here we are.
Here we are, 25, still playing Pokemon.
Ha!
Speak for
One of
yourself.
us, yeah.
One of us, the oldest of us.
Old man. Okay, and do you have anything else to sum up with that?
No, I think that's pretty much everything. So we've got Pokenn, overall, good game, a few things definitely need fixing up. No real problems though.
We didn't really talk about which Valve game we want to see. So obviously Half-Life 3. Let's discount Half-Life 3 as, yeah, obviously that.
Yeah, everything with a 3 on the end. Let's just discount that.
But like, I don't know, how would we feel about Left 4 Dead 3? Obviously Elmo is not the biggest fan of zombies, and he's not a fan of Left 4 Dead. Phil, what would your perspective on Left 4 Dead 3 be?
I want to play it because I don't know, I mean, at most, I reckon they're just going to expand the zombies, it's make more new playable people, expand the weapons, and the maps, and it's not really going to grow much from that. I think it's going to be fun, watch the game, I can play it. It's not the choice I was going to go for what most of the quality from that.
Well, the thing about Left 4 Dead 2 is that it's basically an expansion pack for Left 4 Dead 1. It's the same game, with like cleaned up a bit, with a few new weapons, new characters, new special zombies, and that's about it.
I'd just like to point out that if you tore into Bungie for doing that with Halo ODST, I'm gonna right now call out Treyarch, Infinity Ward, all of these big developers. They do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And no one complains.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed is the biggest sufferer of that. They have Assassin's Creed 1, brilliant. Assassin's Creed 2, awesome, still good. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, okay, cool, we get to see more Ezio. Assassin's Creed Revelations, alright, this is kind of getting old. Yeah, this is getting old now. Assassin's Creed, there's something else, there was another one as well with Ezio.
Yeah.
It's like, right guys, come on, what are you doing?
Assassin's Creed 4 though does have the ships. The
Well,
pirate
3
ships.
added that. It was
That was
beta testing for 4.
That was not an Assassin's Creed game. I still
3
stand by
was
that.
good. 3 was decent, but I've not bothered since 3.
Well done, Chief. One to go.
So,
3 was great. 3 was better.
anyway, Left 4 Dead though. So Left 4 Dead 2 is basically an expansion pack of that, which is fine. Very good game. Doesn't really mix up the concept at all, but it's a good game. But that did only take 2 years to make, and we've been going by the Valve strategy of take ages to release a game, and then once you do really mix up the concept and really make it interesting, it's kind of the one that sticks out. And it has been a few years now since Left 4 Dead 2, so they could change the concept a bit. I don't know if they should change the concept necessarily, because it's a very solid, very well balanced game. Honestly, Left 4 Dead 3 I can live without. I'd play it if it came out, absolutely, but just release more maps. And they basically got that open source
Well,
now,
you know
so
what they say.
I
they don't need to do that.
I think we've probably hit the mindset of what Valve are in. What game are you most looking forward to from Valve? Half-Life 3. Apart from that, it's all been done before, and
Well,
it really has. Like,
Portal 3 is definitely good. All that is just more fun.
Yeah,
That is literally all it is.
but then they have made that open source now as well. You know, they've got the what's it called? Some kind of infinite universes.
Yeah.
They basically made a Portal creator software.
Mario Maker.
Yeah, like a Mario Maker, open source, and they've just basically gone, make your own maps, have fun. So you can now play almost unlimited maps online. So it's like, what would Portal 3 really add to that? More story? Yes, absolutely. I'll happily take the Portal story. But they would then, I mean, they did mix up the formula a little bit with the bouncy gel and the slidey gel and all that kind of thing. I'd say more of that, absolutely.
It definitely would be a good thing for console only users, because if you don't have a computer with Steam, you're not going to have to touch the open source.
Yeah.
So the third one would be decent for that, but you are right, it definitely isn't at the top of my priority list.
Team Fortress, again, very well balanced. Team Fortress 2.
I find it hard to see what they could add
Yeah.
or change.
So that's what I was just talking about. They've literally just kind of they make a game, everyone goes, oh, well, that's cool, you might see more of that. They perfect it, and then they drop it.
And-
think.
But then they kind of open it to the user base, and they go, guys, so you can do with this. And the number of Left 4 Dead maps, the number of Team Fortress maps, the number of like Portal maps you have now. They're like, okay, great, user-based content, go.
That's slightly ridiculous with how much there is.
It's good.
It's good, yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's just ridiculous how many there are.
But again, I wouldn't. I don't get me wrong. I would absolutely buy any of those games if they came out. I would be the first in line to stand and buy them.
Yeah, it was.
I would probably be there somewhere second or third, especially for like Left 4 Dead 3 or definitely Half-Life 3. Because I was never actually that much of a Half-Life fan. I've played through them at the behest of you. You were like,
yes.
Play these now with a gun to my head.
Same here.
With a crowbar to my head. So I did, and yeah, they were fun, but I kind of went through them doing the thing of, oh, okay, I'll do this. Oh, okay, I'll do this. It just kind of felt like a string of one physics puzzle, one shooty event, and then kind of get to the end of the game and go, oh, there was a cool story. So what? Okay, so what's going to happen to the story? Oh, we've not made that game
Wait
yet.
till next time.
Yeah, we've not made that game yet.
There
Aww.
definitely needs to be a wrap up, and it definitely needs to make the flow of the game better, which I think is why Half-Life 3 is the one that I look forward to most, because the other games like Portal and Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, we have all come with the, well, what could be added, whereas Half-Life 3 is extreme better, the storyline is a big drive,
Yeah.
it needs to be
Ended on
wrapped up.
such a cliffhanger.
So there is that. It's
Spoiler alert: Eli dies in the end, and it's
Spoiler
like,
alert,
holy
go
shit.
fuck yourself, stop listening. Jesus.
They have the spoiler alert.
The spoiler alert was there.
Pause button.
To be fair,
Very acceptable.
it's an old game.
Yeah, it's a fucking old game. If you've not played it, so you shout.
Darth Vader's Luke stars.
Whoa, Dumbledore dies. What?
Not played it. Get you the Nintendo
There's still too much
So-
Get the new patch for the NES.
So, just to sort of like be clear, Eli dies in the end, but not only does he die, he gets his brain eaten by those advisors, you know, those flying telekinetic maggot things, which has been mentioned, I think, before that when they do that, they take all the knowledge of that person. This guy has inside knowledge of everything about the rebellion, like, about the resistance, what's going on. He knows more than Gordon Freeman does about this shit. So the Combine are gonna be on them. This changes everything, I think. And you've obviously got the Borealis, this weapon that is mentioned, which he knows all about, which we know bugger all about. But apparently we've been sent to go and find it.
Yeah.
No one tells Gordon Freeman.
Go and find it. What's it look like? Just find it. What's it do? Find it.
That seems to be a running theme of the series of Half-Life. No one tells Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, it's a silent protagonist,
What are we
isn't
doing
it?
today?
To be fair,
I mean, you know, it's fine.
To be
Don't worry about
fair,
it.
he doesn't ask any questions.
Yeah, don't ask. Don't
Shoot first, ask later. Or in fact, shoot first, don't ask.
Don't ask. So yes, basically,
Police departments thing?
only if you're black.
Well,
Shots fired.
And on that note, make Half-Life 3.
make Half-Life 3, just put a bit more time into background on Pokenn, all of these, and a few more Pokémon will be definitely appreciated.
Yeah.
And VR good, motion sensoring, not yet. And walking, yeah,
Yeah,
not yet.
Not for gamers.
Motion sensor is dead.
Yeah, hopefully it stays that way. Next being lost to the Xbox One, definitely.
Yeah, I noticed you PS3 fan not bringing up the PS Motion, whatever the crap that was, on
Yeah.
the tank the day it came out.
Yeah,
It's so hard. I think the Sony lost stock. They were like, oh.
yeah, whereas Xbox went, oh, that's a good idea, and forced it down people's throat for a further couple of years.
They made money.
Yeah, because people didn't have a choice in buying it.
I like the argument of you have to be an idiot to buy that though. It's like they're not being nice, but at the same time they're not even being smart about it.
Yeah.
Right, so this has been Shoot the Shit, where we've been shooting the shit and shooting aliens. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, you will. Bye. Bye.